All right, this is a show. Oh my God, is that too loud? I don't know. It's loud enough. I think it's just the right loud. It's not even 11. So, welcome to Searching for Wisdom Within the Madness. In today's show, I have a guy named Billy, who now calls himself Reginald. Now, was he Reginald before he was Billy when I knew him? I don't know. His name was Billy as far as I knew him, and once again, 20 years it's been since I really talked and messed with him. I was in his band. I was a jester. I was called Jester. In Chick Hockey was his band with Billy and Brian Trainum, who I haven't, oh my God, I haven't talked to him in a while. But Billy plays guitar, just like this. Right, Billy? You could totally play this. This is easy. I don't know, is this two different guitars? Maybe a drum, and then there's some bass. Right? But it's a pretty easy riff. But it does have some chunkiness. And there's a solo, and it's 2 minutes. It only cost me $25. I could use it forever. Listen to that. Alright, well, anyways, Billy is going to be on the show today, and I'm going to speak to him over Zoom, and we haven't spoken in a long time. We were in a band together, but I'll admit, I did not know him that well. He was in a band. I was doing stand-up. Our paths don't cross. If we got married, it would have been bad. We wouldn't see, we'd be very distant, I think. It's a good thing we didn't get married. I haven't seen this guy in 20 plus years. He was my bandmate in Chick Hockey. I mean, it was mostly just him and Brian, Billy and Brian, and I did maybe 3 shows. We went to New York together. Maybe I'll talk about that. Remember that, Billy? We went to New York. Let's get in that. All right, so Reginald Pupe, as I don't know him, who I knew as Billy, is on the thing, and that's the song. So let's get going. Here we go. I'm going to press the button. No. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm going to admit him. Searching for wisdom within the madness. Let's see. Let's go on this mind trip and see if there's any wisdom to be found. And also catch up on this guy, Billy, named Reginald Pupe. Oh, I admitted him. He has been admitted, so I guess the thing will work by itself. All right, so we're in contact. Anyways, here he is. Let's be on our best behavior. All right, so we're gonna do what we're gonna do, like we said over the phone. Let's do sound check, video check. So far, I can see you. See you. Now, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna crank your sound. Hi.
Hi. Can you hear me? I've got my mic set up, but I don't know. I'm clipping I only have a 58 here, so I don't have like a nice condenser mic. I've got it as close to my face as I can. Well, I guess I could bring it closer if I need to.
Well, I have a soundboard, and I'm bringing up your sound to at least get my level.
Okay. Let me do this to hopefully try to help you out.
All right. Well, okay, go ahead.
How's that? Is that any better for you?
Well, it was louder, so I'm going to turn you down now.
Oh,
I turned you up to 11. Now I'm going to tack you down to like a 4.
Perfect.
Yes. All right, let's get this controversy straight. So right out the gate here, okay?
Yeah.
I know you as Billy Watson. Billy Watson is the name on Zoom. On Facebook, there's a different name. A name
indeed.
that is completely different than a Billy Watson type. It isn't like Jack Jones or Jim Bobby. Is that your real name, Reginald?
It is not. My real name is Billy Watson. William Joseph Watson, to be precise.
All right, good.
Reginald Pupe on the face space. I was trying to knight myself by being Sir Reginald Pupe, but they would not allow me the
the honor.
the knighthood.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Well, sure. I mean, yeah. Once you're willing to let your insanity out onto Facebook.
Yeah. Well, and it really was supposed to be Reginald Poop, straight up Poop, but they wouldn't let me use the word poop.
Look at you. Oh, is that your video?
In age, and that's all we have these days. What's that?
All right, so here's where you fucked with me, dude. Here's where you fucked with me. So it was like maybe 2 years ago or whatever that you've been, maybe 3 years now, 4 years.
Okay.
And I remember I texted you and I asked you, wait a minute, that's not your name. Aren't you this? And you responded to me that Reginald Pupe was your real name. And Billy Watson is one you made up because you just wanted to be in a band and sound at least normal because you're the guitar player. That was in my mind for the last couple of years now that your real name is Reginald Pupe. But Billy Watson was your star stage name. You know, I met you in the midst of your guitar career. So who am I to... We weren't like eighth grade buddies, and we were sitting in your garage, and I'm trying to drum, just couldn't keep a beat, and you're like, dude, I'm moving on without you. I'm gonna turn into Billy Watson. Fuck Reginald Pupe and Darren Bodecker. I'm gone, Billy Watson. You suck as a drummer. I wasn't there for that origin story.
I wish that were the case. That's a better story. I now that you say that, that's what I should go with. Unfortunately, it's the other way around, except for
I totally believed it. I was scared because, you texted me back, and what's lacking in a lot of text is like context. Like if you're laughing on the other side, sometimes what you text might seem fucking terrible when it comes to me, not knowing your facial expression or what you're thinking, like what humor, emotion you're trying to send me. So everything's on text, I think, is a little harder than it needs to be. I mean, you really have to put like LOL and a smiley face or a tears laughing emoji there to really stress, hey, man, it's cool, right? Everything
right.
Fine.
Or the eggplant with 2 squirts after
hey. Just being humorous. They're eggplants. They're not real penises.
I probably I do in a way pride myself on being very I write very correctly. I hate grammar mistakes. I do not like missing commas, things like that. So I probably was, and I also enjoy a good caper. So I probably was thinking, you being a comedian and very funny person, I was like, oh, he'll get my joke, but I guess I sold it a little too hard. But that's all fake. I probably wrote it so proficiently and so expertly that right. I fooled even you.
Whoa. The internet connection just blew 30 seconds. We had a 30-second blip. I'll just let you know. I'll go like this. If you see my hand going up, that means you're in a blip. You're like a sound. Okay. Sound, dude. You sound. You.
Should I I do have the capacity to get a hotspot going on my phone that might.
Well, let's check it out. We'll do it, and then if we need to change it, we'll change it. I'm gonna camera angle you a little better, and so I can kind of look at the camera, but also see your face real good. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, here we go. We're moving things and stuff. Everything's going nutty. Oh boy, but I said we'd do the tech stuff up front, right? So, anyways, that's the tech stuff. Oh yeah, and there. I got your head. Oh, nice, framed.
How's that?
Yeah, good? I can see your face. So it's sort of like Saturday Night Live, where they're reading the words, but they're kind of looking towards the camera, but they're not. Yeah. They're just, hey, Billy, how are you, dude?
Dude, good.
Welcome to Zoom, man. All right, so good. I'm glad we got that controversy over. I can breathe a sigh of relief. Okay, good.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, man.
To make you nervous.
I mean, Reginald Pupe, somebody probably out of the 7 billion people, there's somebody named that, and so it wasn't beyond the realm of possibility for me to imagine that might actually be your name, because it wasn't poop. It would have been clear then. I would, all right, yeah, okay, well, now it's his character. Here's Reginald.
Well, there are people that I have met after that. That straight up call me Reggie, like, and I never let it off the hook. They're not people that I see all the time, my friends Reggie. All know, but yeah, they'll, hey Reg, what's up? And so sometimes I have to remember to like answer to Reg, because someone I may not know very well,
right,
thinks that
exactly. Well, because Facebook in kind of a way is basically the closest thing anybody has to a mirror to your soul. You know what I mean? Like a displayed mirror of the soul of what is this person. So if you're cultivating a personality, now I have noticed, since we're going on this, that Reginald Pupe is more zany than I remember Billy Watson being. So in video, in your pictures, in your opinion, you're also political and stuff. So in all these aspects, you're different from the guy I knew, because the guy I knew didn't say too much because Brian Trainum was always talking.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, that, in those days too, I was very much on I always my true self and the goofy. I mean, I'm never serious. Pretty much ever. Like all this, I really try not to be political. Knowledge, fellow politics, things like that. I get pissed off about the state of the world and the things, and I'm not a fan of what's going on right now. Oh. But I would never consider myself a political, a person. I just don't follow it.
Political person? Is that the word person?
Yeah, I was thinking for a bigger, smarter word, but I couldn't come up with
What's
one.
What's a bigger, smarter word than person?
I don't know. I was going to go with zealot, but I was like, I don't know what that word means. I don't really know what that word means, so I'm not going to use it because I might be using it wrong, and then I'm an idiot.
Nah, that zealot is crazy.
I was caught. I got caught with not so long ago. I was using the word. I was using a word wrong, and I was fucking selling it.
Yeah.
And it was wrong. Yeah.
Did you know that it was wrong and you were selling it as a bit? Oh, you were sincere.
I was straight up wrong, yeah. And luckily it was too...
Yeah. Okay.
Altruistic. I was using it wrong, and luckily two good close friends of mine were like, hey, stupid, I think you don't know what that word means. And I was like, bullshit, that word, I know what it means. I just used it like 5 times. And I'm not laughing.
So you were like a character out of The Princess Bride.
Exactly. Yeah. It was not good.
Yeah.
But at least it was them that caught me.
Oh, so that's good. Now, was it really like a real twist?
What's that?
Was it so when you get called out and you learn this word, what is your first reaction emotionally when you realize, I mean, is your first reaction that they're fucking with me, no, this is what this is, or was your first reaction, oh shit, is that true? Was there a surprise thing for you?
It was I was a little bit. I was surprised, but I was not. I became not aggressively, but standoffish a bit. I was like, "No, dude, I'm right. I know what this word means."
No way.
And
how long did that last? I mean, just in that moment, or did it last for days and months?
Quick. No. It lasted for days. I was on a tear. I was like, "Hey, I got this new great word. I'm gonna start using it." And I was throwing it around, and it was I was wrong the entire time. But when it finally came down to it, we were speaking of Trainum. I was actually in his bar in LA, where we kind of all hang out back there, and he's got like a Chicago bar, and it was 2 of my closest
Closest.
there with it all. I was like, nah, you
All
guys
right.
are wrong, dude. And up. Damn it.
It's cutting out a little bit.
All right, let me let's
Do you want
let's
to
do
do you
this
want to do a? Let's
hotspot.
take a break
Okay.
and do what you need to do. So I'll give you 1 minute, but we'll keep it rolling. But we can still
Okay.
talk. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think I'm
don't
just
worry,
gonna
no worries. I know
Right on.
exactly where we are.
Okay.
So
Sorry
I've got
about
50
that.
different roads I want to travel down with you today. So we only got
Perfect.
we ain't got too long.
Personal hotspot. Join.
Stop.
Okay, so now let me go to. Try this. Okay, I'm hoping that this should now.
Record. Hello.
Better. We have here. Is that the
Hello.
last one?
Hello.
Miserable. You got me back?
Yeah, I do. I have you back real good. I'm just doing a quick sound. I'm doing Audacity while I'm doing this, and unfortunately, I ran into a problem that I ran into last week, and I forgot how I fixed it.
No
I'm gonna
worries.
turn this off. Nope. And then I'm gonna turn it on again. Sorry, and this will be the technical stuff. So it's a second tech thing. All right, I'm gonna record again. Awesome. All right, so now we're in business, bitch.
Excellent.
We're in business now, bitch. Okay, hey,
Yeah.
Billy.
Hey,
man.
Darren.
Oh my God, I've known you so long ago.
I know you really have, and
Yeah.
I you.
We were so hungry
We
back
know
then.
each other. It's weird. We know each other for like the same exact amount of time. It's crazy. Long time.
Yes, exactly. We know
end of
each
the day,
other for the exact
that meeting.
same time. Yeah. So you remembered me
Yeah.
then, and I remembered you in some way or another.
Yeah.
What do you remember of meeting me right off the bat, like right away? By the way.
Well, I remember I had known of you through Ectomorph when I used to hang around with Trainum coming to see comedy shows a million years ago, and I was a big fan of you guys and many people in that scene. So I was damn it again, huh?
No. Sorry, different thing. I was wondering if I could raise my hand to interject and ask a question. When you first saw Ectomorph for the very first time, how did you process that? Like, what was your emotional reaction to seeing what you were seeing?
I thought it was I loved it, but I was confused by it. But that's also what I loved about it, because it was super weird compared to what everyone was doing, which to me was everything I loved about it. And I also found it very funny because I love weird humor, and I thought of you guys as like these crazy, like, super brilliant, like super genius dudes who were just funny and smarter than everybody, and like it was just came off weird. I was like, oh, these guys are genius. While I was tucked away in the corner smoking one hitters in the corner of the room, like,
dude,
trying not to be noticed.
We must have been the perfect act for you, dude, to be high and watching that stuff for the very first times. Oh, sure.
Great.
That, of course you didn't understand it, buddy. Just Jim going
great.
up there, sha, sha, sha. Like, what? They
What?
just blacked
These guys
out,
are-
and what did those guys just do?
Yeah. These guys are fucking weird. I love it.
All right, so going a little bit in, now it's really picking your memory. Do you have a favorite bit or something that just comes to mind when you think of us or me specifically now that we're here? Is there any kind of Ectomorph moment or scene or essence or something that you can think of?
remembering this was a good long while ago now, but so individual bits or so I don't really unfortunately remember, but I do remember just the aesthetic of like Bart with his turtleneck, and it had this weird like almost it wasn't like German at all, but it had like that kind of, you know, I don't know,
Right.
the all black
All
and the
three of us were
turtlenecks
tall. I wore a white
Yeah.
turtleneck. Jim wore a gray turtleneck, and Bart wore a black turtleneck.
Turtlenecks.
And it was, yeah, it went
was
on height.
perfectly
It went
uncomfortable.
Bart to Jim to me, being a, I was ectomorph.
Yeah, it was perfectly uncomfortable. A turtleneck makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I like it.
So it had that German kind of look to it. There was, this kind of almost a Blue Man thing before Blue Man,
Yes.
actually. But it was
Good
Blue
analogy.
Man. It was like comedy, but the distinguishing thing was black pants, black boots, 3 different colored collars. I'm 6'6". Jim was 6'5", and Bart is 6'2". So it was like boom. I remember one day. We were going into the improv because Ectomorph was the sketch comedy house, the house sketch comedy group. So we'd go up every other week. And I remember we'd go up on, Saturday nights. You remember that? Where it was like 500-600 people, everybody they could pack in all of Chicago. It was in the improv.
Absolutely.
And one day we were going, and Jim, we used to try and go around, but there's no backstage to that stage. You had to like go right up the middle in through the arena, And I remember we were walking out after a show, and this black lady goes, she just looks and goes, "Damn, Jurassic Park." And so,
I love it.
He called us Jurassic Park. It was Bart coming, and then Jim came, and then I came. It was like got taller. I was
It's
always
like, when is this going to end?
Yeah, it was Jurassic Park.
That's what I definitely took from you guys immediately, because it was the stand-up scene, and there were so many fantastic acts, and it really was a great scene. But you guys were the first act that I saw that was different, almost in kind of any way at all. Like everybody, there were tons of funny people. I mean, brilliant people that have gone on to do great things or were super funny.
We broke
Better?
out, and then anyway,
And then it came back.
right. We'll wait for the moment. It's like the moon, like every once in a while, a sun ray will come and mess up your thing. 'Cause you are living in California.
Yeah, and I'm way up in the mountains up in Northern California, where it's like I don't understand why the Wi-Fi is such an issue up here, because it's like everybody up here is super loaded and has tons of dough, yet the Wi-Fi is just almost non-existent.
Boo.
I don't really get it. I don't have any money, but the people that live up here do. So
Good.
but anyway.
All right, getting back, just to dip back. So when you then, after a couple of days of like, no, this word is right, I know what it means, you guys are fucking with me. So in that moment where you're in denial, basically, this is the first reaction. It's like anger and denial. What? How dare you? What? No, I know what I'm talking. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm saying it. You're not saying it.
Yes.
Something like that. So you kind of own it, but you're right. Because you can't go from instantly. I mean, you're a man, dude. You can't
Right.
go right into like all salty and weepy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can say, and walk away. What? Right.
And I also I'm not, I'm not like, I don't work for NASA, but I'm not an idiot. So I was very much, I knew what that word meant, and I did not.
So then what do you remember the moment that you changed your mind as to the
Yes.
meaning of that word?
Yes, it was in that same moment, because when you mention anger and denial, it was very little anger, definitely denial, because I was with my friends who I wasn't, about to get in like an argument over it, but they immediately told me what it really meant, and I was like, what? I don't think that's right. And then I looked it up and I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You're right. And then it was over. And I have never used today, right now, when I mentioned to you to remember what the word even was, is the first time I have used the word ever since. And that was like 4 years ago.
All right, I have a little story an anecdote that goes along with that. So I'm going to Edison Community College down in Florida. This is right after I got out of the Army. So I get out of the Army in '88, and so this is like '89. I'm in I'm in a community college down in Florida.
Yeah.
Working Stanley Steamer during the day. College kid by night. Well, anyways, me and one of my best friends back then, he also went to the college for a semester when I was going there. I don't know why, but anyways, we had one class together, and after class, we'd all meet up, and I was so sure I was right. We were talking about how I was farting for some reason, and I said, when you let a fart, you expand gas, right? You expand it. And he was like, no, it's expend. You expend it. It's not expand. And I'm like, and I was so sure that expanding actually just meant farting. Like you're just pushing it out. Yeah, not getting bigger.
You are expanding it.
I was thinking it's expanding out of you. Expanding out. I was just so convinced. It was expanding out. That's what expanding means. It means to fart it out. Push it out. Right. You're expanding it out. You take a shit, it's expanding out of you. That's my thought. Expanding. And so the rest of the class, like about 10 other people, are gathered around, and we are having a full out, I'm not letting it go. And he's really, and the other people, I see there's a crowd around, they're like, I think maybe his argument is a little better than yours, Darren. And I'm like, what? And I felt so little, so salty. I did not let it go, and I absolutely, because this is before somebody look it up and go, well, hey guys, I just looked it up, and Darren, you're wrong.
Right. Ruins your whole argument. You have nothing to argue.
Expend. So, man, it was like we got into a fight in the hall and I'd lost, clearly. But I walked away thinking I'd won. And I just know that the dynamic of class was a little more towards my friend Doug than it was to me up to that point.
Gotcha. Yeah, that would have been a good one to win, but...
And the way I dealt with it, I forgot about it for at least a decade, and then finally, about a decade later, I decided to look it up really, but I'd also kind of knew it was the other word, and then I definitively, okay, maybe he was right. And then I felt even worse about what he did to me.
Right.
How dare you, Doug? If he wasn't there, everybody would have just believed it. I had self-confidence back then. He fucked me up in front of everybody.
Well, that's a good thing for people to learn. Never hang out with people named Doug.
Doug, yeah, motherfucker. God damn, I'm out him. Doug Jones, to be specific.
Fuck you, Doug Jones.
Fuck you, dude.
Doug Jones. Give me a break. You couldn't come up with something better than Jones?
Yeah, right. I got
Come
Bodecker.
on.
Bodecker's like Einstein.
Come on. Smith, Jones.
Smith.
Shit is lazy.
Shit is fucking lazy, dude. So then when you accepted what it was, do you feel weird towards those friends that told you that to this day, or is it just like, do you laugh with them and get high and man, that was just
100%.
Crazy.
Yeah, 100%. My doubling back a little bit of like, old stoic serious Billy Watson as compared to really who my true goofy self is. My friendships, with my family, my brother, my friends of life is always bust balls as hard as you possibly can with the intent to make the other person laugh. So it was kind of like, for me to be the idiot in that moment it's cool. It's something funny.
So you were definitely a different person when we hung out together.
Well, I get, yeah, I had a, I
Personality
definitely,
wise.
yeah, I definitely was more,
Serious?
I was more serious. I was
Hungry?
more
Wanted to be in a band? Like really wanted to make it, get famous?
100%.
The
I was
eye on
very
the
much,
prize. No time for playing on the side.
no, sir. That is exactly where my brain was.
What
I
was
did nothing with everything else in life outside of the pursuit of becoming a career musician in some way, shape, or form. Nothing else held any importance. No job, no people, no relationship, no nothing. If it wasn't towards my goal, I did not have 5 seconds for it. I
Wow.
That put me in a very loose and open and stress free, as stressful as that world is, trying to gain momentum and make a life
Right.
in the entertainment world. But I was completely stress free and the happiest I have ever been in my entire life, but also very heavy because I just was like, I don't have fucking time to waste. I don't come from money, and my
Right.
parents have no money. I don't have anyone
Right.
in the business helping me out. Like, I have to do this 100% on my own. So I didn't have time for any kind of fuckery.
So you didn't have time for fuckery. Okay, so what was the very first band? Well, when's the first time you actually decide what instrument you're gonna play? Like, what was that moment? Was it given to you? Was it you asked for it? What did you play, and then how did you come by that at what age or whatever?
I was not given it at all. I was not supported in it in any way, by any means. My parents were very much against it. The 100% far and away guitar through and through.
How
Was I
old?
never had a doubt.
How
I
old are
was
you?
Well, I was probably I'll go back slightly further with my first conscious uh choice of music. I always loved music. I come from a very musical family. My grandfather was a career musician, like was a name of sorts in the big band days. Like, he's in history books and almanacs, and he used to do a nationwide broadcast from the Aragon on Sunday nights, and he played with all these like heavy hitters in the big band
Oh,
world back
so
in the day.
you have some mentor or someone to look up, somebody in the family to know that it's possible. If it's in the family, I'm the family. I could do stuff like that. I like that sound and the power and the feel. Because I guess if I'm just imagining here though, but as a really small kid in your first, especially 7 years where you're soaking it in real hard,
Mm-hmm.
there must have been was there a kind of a coolness, a swagger to your uncle? Was there a different happiness on him that you maybe kind of connected with, or was it specifically the sound and then seeing somebody you knew doing that, being like like what do you think that was that like lit the flame kind of?
Sure. It was my grandpa, and it was definitely, it was not actually mute to his music. It was just he definitely carried himself. He was he was just like a lighter person. He was always kind of goofing around and, he was just like your typical kind of corny grandpa,
Right.
but he was just cool as shit.
So he had a
Always
swagger.
he definitely had a swagger and a vibe, and he had like the Errol Flynn mustache.
Whoa.
And he was just super cool. Before I even knew, you don't even know what cool
Wow.
is really necessarily
Right.
when you're a little kid. But he was not like, he was a little different from everybody else.
Yeah.
And, it was more of that. I did not
Really?
like necessarily the style. I thought it was cool that he played music.
Right.
But by this time he was already, he was older, and his musical career was kind of in the past. So he wasn't actively playing anymore.
Understood.
But yeah, there was just something about him that was it just set him apart. From
Right.
from
So it's that
everybody else, you know?
connection with his emotional something, but also he does dabble in music. So at least it's like a slight light over there, like music. I want music. So then you're playing the guitar. What is the age that you're getting this guitar that your parents do not want you to have? Well, how old are you there? How do you get this? Do you mow lawns? What do you do?
Well, at first, I would sneak over to my best friend growing up. His name was Tony Bosek.
Yes.
What's up, Tony?
Hey, Tony.
His dad was a musician and he played guitar. So I would go to, and I will say probably a huge reason of why my parents did not want me to play music is because my first inkling of liking music was metal.
Oh.
It was satanic. Like, there was no doubt in my parents' mind.
What year? Give me the year.
Oh shit. 5th, 6th grade. Like,
what year?
This was Twits and Sisters Stay Hungry.
1983? 84.
Guaranteed 80. Yeah,
maybe
easily
85.
83. By 83 I was 10.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
so probably how old are you in 5th or 6th grade, I guess? Probably around there, 9 or 10, something like that.
Well, I think it was in about around 86, 87, maybe even 85, but there was a whole thing that metal was all, Ozzy and fucking Motley Crue and Shout at the Devil and freaking Black Sabbath, of course, and Slayer, all that.
Yes, sir.
So it kind of came to a head, and the way it on the cultural ass of America, and then it burst like a pimple out by ultimately leading to people are being Satanists who are watching our kids in daycare, and we're going to go and send the cops after all this whole daycare family who's watching these kids, and we're going to accuse them of some sexual satanic cult that wants to at some point eat one of the children. So it was that hardcore, but with orgies, with the kids watching, sacrifices, the whole deal. Of course, pentagrams were supposed to be in the back of the room, and they're listening to, Slayer, Rain and Blood. So that'd be on a loop, and it would be like a 10-hour process. When you drop your kid off, they go right back to the Satan room, and then they start playing in the blood, and they get to mess with the corpses and wear their skin, having all that fun that kids do.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
And then
The Satan kids.
Satan would come by and go, "Wow, you guys are doing a great daycare here." And then he would disappear, and they go, "Yay, we did it again. All right, kids, get your showers packed up. All right, everybody, see you tomorrow." And then they all toddler off home.
Hey, that's exactly how it happened. That's exactly, you just described the mid to late 80s.
That shit really happened, man. Not the stuff where it really happened. What really happened was people thought that shit so hard. These people were totally innocent, man. You can't get a cop to question a kid with leading questions, and the kid's gonna go, "Yeah, it seems that you guys want me to point to the crotch on this doll so I can have a candy," right? Is that right there? Thank you for the lollipop. Satanist. Did they pentagram? Yeah, pentagram. Ice cream. Snickers bars. Little fat kids at the end.
100%.
We questioned this kid for 3 days. And coming out like, "I got diabetes."
Right. That's it. It was.
I told him everything.
Satan has always been a fall guy for the actual motherfuckers, who's the church people, doing stuff in the rectory. That's all cover up for them to get away with it. Nobody's looking at me. I'm the good guy.
What is fucked up
Come here,
is that
Johnny.
there is true shit out there. That's the fucked up thing. I wish it was all just QAnon bullshit.
Right.
But in actuality, there's truth to all those things. They throw in some. There's just like a spice in there usually, and hey, they're cannibals. Yeah, that's a good one. And they're pedophiles. Oh, we all hate that, don't we? Yeah, we do. That's what they are.
Yeah.
It's just they're born with it. As soon as they said, "I'm a Democrat," they just anointing by Satan. You know, because they's in them back rooms with the pentagrams and the kids and blood. Oh man.
It didn't help that at that time we also lived very close. A couple towns over was the infamous Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. If you're familiar with old Chicago, lore, things like that. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery was a haunted cemetery where on Halloween Satanists would go and defile it, and they'd, rumor had it there were like dead cats and shit. And
is it true, or is this
on the headstones.
all just vicious neighborhood rumor?
I think it's vicious neighborhood rumor by, scared parents and propaganda. Right. I'm sure there was the occasional, some kind of shit that went down, but it was the worst that I ever saw was, the headstones were turned over, whatever, but it was like 150-year-old.
Yeah. It could have been gravity that
pioneers were. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Pioneer people were buried there. Like it was forever old.
Let me ask you a question that you said all these rumors of what things were. Deeper down, isn't there a little part of you that kind of wishes it was all true? Just to be the real legit, like what if it's going to live up to its fucking mythological status? Why not? There was definitely sacrifices in 1967. It was this guy on LSD and they all went nuts there, but they're not, at least a story like that, but some lame shit.
Right? That never even happened. Just
somebody
people
knocked
scared.
one over and then they knocked two over, dude. And then
right. It all goes back to, some asshole who went out to Bachelor's Grove to scare this chick he liked, and his buddy ended up getting her, so he was pissed and turned it into some whole thing, and then everybody just started believing it. So
right, yeah, like how the stories in the Bible are, like even the burning bush. I heard it started out as merely a spark. It was just a quick spark. They were looking to burn something, but then the story just went on, and then it became the burning bush. Yeah, that's how big. It's like game of telephone.
See, that kind of stuff makes perfect sense to me because back then, nobody knew shit about shit. Everybody was just barely evolved and stupid and knew nothing of mushrooms. Everybody was probably eating shrooms, tripping balls all day, every day, seeing bushes on fire. And
dude,
they were probably talking to them. So, and now, here we are 2,000 years later.
If you were going to go out into the desert and fast, what was it, 20, 30, 40 days? Wouldn't you want to, as part of your gear, bringing with like a whole bunch of mushrooms?
Oh, absolutely. 90% mushrooms and then some cans of beans.
Some protein drink, maybe some, some powdered drink with a little bit of, soy milk that'll keep.
Some astronaut tubes, astronaut food.
Yeah, Tang, and about 2 pounds of mushrooms. And then I have backup mushrooms just in case. And then I'm going to drop some acid.
How good would you
see
feel after 40?
See you in 40, everybody.
Great.
Yeah.
See you later.
Oh, dude, you'd definitely be talking to God and the devil by the end of it, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. They would both be very real.
Yeah. You'd come back all skinny and go, all right, kids, who knows how to write a book? I got a story to tell.
Right? I've seen it all.
I've seen it, and I know the word.
Change the world.
Yep. Look at that.
Shit.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck.
He's Jesus Christ. I knew him as Billy Watson, but he changed it to Jesus Christ. I don't know why. Just to be controversial.
He's got all these followers. He must be doing something right. Yep. I don't know.
It's all about the name change, man.
Jesus Christ and the Church of Biller Day Saints.
Oh, man. So, just getting back, so how do you get your guitar?
Well, I get my guitar. I don't get my guitar till much later. I go over to Tony Bosek's house and play his guitars upside down. As I'm a lefty, he was righty. So we would sit there and he would teach me how to play. It started with Rock You Like a Hurricane, Scorpions, because I could play a power chord upside down and or just on one string, and Iron Man and shit where there's no changes.
Right.
And so I learned to play fully upside down. Like I played a right-handed guitar left-handed, so
Wow.
the strings were upside down. And I fought with my parents for years before they, not like a decade, but it was a good few years.
Wait, I don't want to pass that one up too quickly. Because I'm always thinking about these things, of course, through the filter of me and what I would do or what I'm like in whatever situation. Mm. And what the thing different between you and me in that situation is if I was left-handed, I think I might not do the, well, I don't think I would do what you did. I think I would just give up on that and like, oh, well, I guess I'm left-handed and it's not made for left-handed people, so I'm not going to break any rules. You know? I was kind of that kind of kid, but you did the left-handed and that's how, is that effed up then? Are you effed up guitarist? Or does that give you an edge that other people don't necessarily have because your foundation, you started out doing this one thing and maybe you have do you have a little different flavor to your technique than other people?
I think I wouldn't say so. I mean, I think probably a little bit I do because I am completely 100% self-taught. So I just had the drive. What kind of gave me an advantage, I think, was my I was just possessed by the drive and the passion to do it. And I am very much and have always been, if you tell me no, like I'm gonna double do it. And
right, so you're
even
contrarian.
If it's just out of spite.
So maybe ultimately it wasn't that uncle and everything. It's just the one thing that you definitively knew that your parents did not enjoy or like. In other words, the radio station might have hit this one player and they're like, oh, that is terrible. Listen to that. And like, fuck you. I love that. What was that? You know,
yeah.
You know, it was Motley Crue that came on just out of the blue or whatever it was. And then
it was definitely Too Fast for Love, Shout at the Devil years. Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry.
Too fast for love.
Too fast for loving you, baby.
Too fast. Too fast for.
You know it.
Yeah.
You know it. Yeah, man. And it was probably I am very much that way, contrarian for sure. But I really don't think that didn't drive me. Whether they supported me or not,
it was just added spice to it.
I was going to do it.
In other words, it was just an extra fuel. It was almost like you had fuel in your tank, but they put some extra high octane to it. Here, let's kick you up to. Let me give you this little bottle of STP 101 octane. Let's pour that in there. Oh yeah, I'm really playing. I'm playing on number 12.
Where's that Satan? Bring him back and give us some fire to light this shit.
So you went hard metal right out the gate. Like, what's your first song that you learned how to play? Was it anything? Was it Black Sabbath?
It was the first song ever. Yeah, it was either Rock You Like a Hurricane, Scorpions, or Iron Man, Black Sabbath, because they were like I said, single strings, or I could do an upside down power chord well enough to memorize what frets to play them.
Really? So that the tone that came out of the speaker, you love that tone. It was like the tone of a metal guitar, like that distortion and that electricity, but also the power of it. So it cuts through like a knife. It can cut through all the music and be just in the front of the stage if it wants the entire time, no matter where.
100%.
It's just like it has the power.
Physical. Undoubtedly, the physical aspect of that, of just a guitar going shunk, 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 shunk,
right,
and just literally physically kicking you in the chest,
right,
with that thump.
Well, it's like a musical samurai sword, dude. It just cuts and like gonna cut through the music of the drums, cut through the music of the bass, cut through the music of the other guitars, cut through the singer. I'll cut through everything. Because at Eddie Van Halen, that's what he did. He cut through all of it. It was like, yeah, David Lee Roth was great, and he had to really put his game up to the ceiling because Eddie was playing some shit from outer space, dude.
Yeah, dude.
He had a run.
Yes, sir.
Bum,
Right?
bum. From then on, he's God.
Yeah,
David Lee Roth was second to him.
and I will say that's probably what has set me apart, or not set me apart, because I think to say set me apart would imply that I would be better than most people at it, which this is the opposite.
I don't take it like
zero skill. I have zero skill in like the lead solo department. I've never had any interest in that. Like, I thought Eruption was cool, and I knew Eddie Van Halen was, like you said, playing shit from space, 100%. Right. But I just was more. I'm a riff guy. Like Metallica, I latched onto, and old Motley Crue. You know, I always have just drooled over a heavy, groovy riff. I never learned to solo. I just never learned to do it.
Well, let me ask you if this is right or wrong. This is totally layman talking about what my imagination thinks. Like a person doing a solo, there's a controlled chaos to it. Whereas the person who's doing a riff, there's a kind of a math, and you're keeping up with a certain heartbeat, and you know, you're almost like bass add-on. You know what I mean? It's just like, and you're driving it. You're like the heart, bam, 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 bam. And if you get a great riff going, it's like it's like that energy, the feelings. Because metal, I will say, is like, it's my favorite, like, tone also.
Yeah.
Like just for a quick side, I bought a piece of, let me play you what I bought for $25. This is my intro music. So you hear it at the front, and then you can hear it right now. So check this out.
I'm not getting it.
You're not getting it?
Oh, now I am. There it is. Well, for a second I had it.
You're not getting it?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, now I lost you. You're going to have to come back, I think. This is the rip. All right, sorry, I played that too long. I'll try and edit that out, but I got carried away and forgot where the stop was.
It's easy to do. I'll sit here and do that with you all day long. I love it.
All right, so getting into it, so you like that? So you want to be more of a rhythm guitarist then, kind of, if you were to say.
100%. I am still, to this day, that is my house, and I own it, and I am. There's no place I'm happier than being the rhythm guitarist, and just laying down that riff that makes you not have to do drugs. Like, it's trippy to me. A good riff like that will send me somewhere else, and I crave it. It's the best. It's the greatest part of my life and the worst. You know.
So are you a riff writer?
100%.
So you have a whole, like, hundreds of riffs that you've written.
A library of riffs and songs, and everything is a riff that I keep in the hopes of later turning into a song if I can't.
What's the most famous riff you have of all the ones you've ever wrote? I mean, I guess I don't know how to determine what famous means, but the most popular that you felt, or something that people just were like, I like it. I like that.
I mean, probably the I had a band for a little while that was on Sony, and our record, it never ended up coming out. But there's a song called Dull that kind of had it ran the gamut. It started out with this really beautiful trippy kind of cleanish affected riff.
Okay.
And then it got very aggressive and, well, not really super aggressive, but real more heavy. But I would probably say that was a song that they were going to use and kind of be as a platform for this band and launch and get ready for world tours. And they were going to like, okay, this is the one. So that one probably had the most impact. But I don't know, to say famous. I mean, I'm not famous, and none of my bands are. Some bands that I've played with and done things with are famous, but I'm not a famous person. Nor, and I don't have.
Since we're on that, so you find your love of guitar. You go against your parents' wishes. You're going metal. You're full out metal. You're a riff dude. I'm writing riffs. Riffs are the key to the world, right? So yeah. Angus Young must be one of your heroes from AC/DC, just a behind-the-scenes riff writer, like a MFer. True?
Absolutely. 100%.
So you wanted to be kind of an Angus Young in the sense that you're going to write amazing riffs, but you don't necessarily need to be, David Lee Roth or Eddie Van Halen. You could just be Angus Young, correct, just bringing it every single night.
Definitely.
Every goddamn night.
More so Jimmy Page, but in theory, you hit the nail on the head. I've been much more a Zeppelin fan than I love AC/DC, but I appreciate AC/DC and I like them.
Right.
But Jimmy Page was drugs.
Drugs.
AC/DC
is that slang for awesome?
Yes.
Okay.
It was. I was addicted to it. To Zeppelin riffs, like 10 Years Gone and shit. You could name everything he's ever written, but it was rather than just appreciating it and hearing it and being like, oh, that's cool. I needed it. There was an addiction to it, and I would fight you over it.
That's
really almost weird.
That's something. I'm envious of you in that kind of way, because I've never really had in my life that thing that I tenaciously was like on it, especially at your younger age. Like I was just the way I was going through life, I was just sort of vibing moment to moment. I was kind of in a sense like Donald Trump, how like every day's a brand new day full of brand new stories to tell and amazing new friends to hate and all the amazingness of life. And every day's a little bit different, and sometimes it's exactly the same, but it's worse. You know what I mean? It's just sort of that thing. Like, so through my life, I'm just avoiding getting beat up from bullies and getting yelled at by adults, and I got ADD, but I don't know what the hell that is. But I'm just rolling through time and just doing things and forgetting and making the same mistakes over 2, 3, 4 times. And so I never had that thing that I locked onto. I mean, like comedy, stand-up was maybe the longest thing, but even that I've fizzled out on, like with like everything that I've done. So I envy that in you had that shining star to go towards as far as learning the guitar, and you did it. So you are a riff master. You do have all your riffs, and you were in bands. You've been on stage. I saw you at the Metro. Yeah. Speaking of your band, I'm looking at a picture here. I got it off from your Facebook. It's one of the earlier ones or whatever. It's like you, or there's a couch, and there's 5 of you, and you're on the couch to the left of your lead singer, I believe, who's got curly hair, and one's going down, and he's got tattoos on his arms. And then
black and white photo.
Yeah, and next to you on the other side of him on the couch is this he's got these aviator glasses on, he's got a hoodie, he's got tattoos, he's wearing a watch, wife beater type thing, gold chains. And then above you is some good looking dude, and then on the very top is probably the drummer.
Yes.
Because that's what drummers look like.
Right.
And then the lead singers, what lead singers look like. And you look like the rhythm. You look, actually, to be honest with you, yeah, I guess you do look rhythm guitar when you look at the other guy. But
I was the only guitar player in that band. A lot of my bands, I've been the only guitar player, and rather than when the lead section would come up, I was very pushy on not having a lead section. Let's write a bridge that is another fucking badass riff that we can make a whole nother part, and then we'll come back into the main riff. I would try to avoid lead guitar players. Now, in that particular, actually, that's a lie. When this picture was,
why are you lying to me?
That's true.
We haven't talked in so long.
That's true. That's true. But in the timeline of this photo,
right.
I was not the only guitar player. The other guy with the tattoos and the kind of wife beater vibe.
Yes.
That's Stevie D, who now is in Buck Cherry.
Oh shit.
He's been with Buck Cherry for many years now. Yeah. Incredibly amazing. I mean, the guy's one of the best guitar players.
They got one of the best rock and roll cocaine songs ever.
Yes, sir. They do indeed.
They're like almost number one. I think it might be in my book.
Probably.
Way better than Eric Clapton.
Oh, yeah.
Eric Clapton's make me sad.
Right? Right? Yeah, it's terrible. No. Yeah, they definitely all lit up or lit up again or something, I believe is the name of that song.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would have to agree.
I mean, Buck Cherry, when I think of them, they want me to, I want to have cocaine on an airplane right now.
Yes, sir.
For some reason.
They're still very much alive and doing it. I mean, that's his gig. They toured the whole world playing to thousands of people.
They got
every
hits.
day, you know?
They got hits, and they're pure rock and roll. It's like like an aggressive Rolling Stones. Right. You know, that lead singer is just, he's out there, man. Josh, so your dream then, once you lock into this is the career path that I'm going to take, how high can a rhythm guitarist get? I mean, like, what was your plan? Was you plan to be a studio musician? Were you planning to be a mogul? Did you want to be just that dude who, like, we can't write riffs, we need to call Billy, and let's call Billy for riffs? Oh my God. And then you be the riff master of Hollywood? What was the dream? Like, where did you envision yourself, like, getting to? What was this peak, the summit?
Any of those things. I never had the desire to be a studio musician necessarily, because I don't like to. Then that would have made it a job, rather than just me enjoying my life and doing what I wanted to do. I have, you know, I mentioned earlier, like, musical things have been the greatest part of my life, but also the worst part. Like you said, you know, you fizzled out on everything. Music's the only thing I've never fizzled out on, and it's taken priority over everything. So I still struggle to this day. Like, I'll have an opportunity to do something and I will not do it because I know that I'll be a miserable human being. I won't like myself. My wife will not like me. Like, I'm not a likable person when I am unhappy. So it is my pursuit of music, with financial gain or not, is what I will do until either I die or something else comes along that I have an equal or a greater passion for, because I can't get myself to do anything else.
How are you parlaying in today's day, 2020, your riff mastering, your 10,000 hours of mastering the riffs? You probably have 100,000 hours, maybe 300,000. Do you have 1 million hours, you think, of this?
Probably somewhere. Not 1 million, no, but I have I would put my library up against anyone's. I'll say that. I've been actively doing it since I was, not recording ideas, but I ended up, I swooped around and kind of got around, but I'll come back to this with this thought. I first got a guitar finally when I was like probably 16. 3 or 4 years went by of battling with my parents and sneaking over to Tony's house and play Upside Down.
Yeah.
When I got my first real guitar. My mom took me to Toys R Us and bought me one of those shitty guitars with a speaker built into it.
Sure.
And it was also right-handed.
Okay.
So I played that just to, she didn't know I was already gone in my brain in it, because I was sneaking over a way to learn how to do it. So she bought me this with we'll see if you stick with it and whatever. And I was already, there was no not sticking with it. But I ended up eventually then buying a guitar that I used with my communion money. You get presents for doing different shit.
Yeah.
And I was raised in Catholic.
So the Lord got you a guitar? Wow.
The Lord brought me to the devil's doorstep.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
I guess if it weren't for the Lord, you might not have had that guitar right then. It might have had to wait a couple more years until.
Probably, yeah. I took what was left of that money and I bought an Epiphone Flying V that was exactly like Kirk Hammett's.
Oh shit!
Exact same model. Well, a lesser model. It didn't cost thousands of dollars
Sure.
like his probably did, but it was like $550, and I bought that and a Jackson 412 cabinet.
Yeah.
And this piece of shit old. It was just a power amp, 100-watt power amp, because I couldn't afford to actually get ahead with it as well.
Wow.
And so that was it. But then after that, then I just there was no turning back, man. It was everything. It was everything. It was every waking moment. I would if I was home, I was in my room with the door shut, learning every song I wanted to learn.
Right.
Like the big four really was, they turned out to be the big four, but I learned to play guitar through
Slayer,
Metallica,
Megadeth,
Anthrax,
right?
Yes, and there were a million other bands that I was into as well, but those really were like my big four as well.
Right, Scorpions.
And that's how I learned. Yeah, I learned doing that, locking myself in my room, and from what Tony Bosek gave me upside down in his thing, I had to reteach myself to play then lefty. And then I learned how to like palm mute and play heavy shit. For Whom the Bell Tolls and Kirk Hammett were why I went nuts. You were just
deep driven for the tone and the feel and the power and the energy and the technique and the math of the whole thing. And the place it took your brain, it took you out of the moment. All of life could be hell, but in this moment, it's amaze balls.
Yes, sir.
And the electricity is shooting through me, and I can do it. I can do it. I am getting better. I'm better. I'm gooder. I'm gooder. Look at me. I'm making up my own riffs. Yep. So that in that time, is it that you just kind of gravitated towards musical people in high school, and then you guys form a band? Is it just through osmosis that it's like, hey, I heard you drumming the other day when I was riding my bike to the 7-Eleven? You wanna, is it something like that shit, or do you actively go out and look for something?
It was. I eventually went out and looked for something and found other people. But first, probably I don't want to say like all kids, but like most kids, I was more into all I knew was sports. Your parents sign you up for T-ball or whatever, and you meet your friends and you play sports. I was huge into baseball and soccer, and so that's where all of my interest was as a kid. But it was I enjoyed it, but it wasn't something I chose.
What you did here now, see, is you wasted all your prime years when you should have been ripping that guitar up. You'd be a lead guitarist right now. You'd be regular Yngwie. If they'd have let you loose at 3. If they'd let you loose at 3.
I could have been a rising force.
Right off the bat, just bought you a full-out guitar that fit your left hand. Like, go, kid, go.
Yeah. Yep. I'd have been like Kingfish.
Yeah. There'd be no way, one, that we'd know each other, and two, you would do this Zoom thing with me because you're too famous for this shit. I got too many followers. What if Darren said some shit that's embarrassing, where my ball sack was out in chick hockey for a cover art?
Right? Yeah. Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it, man?
Now that is exactly who I've always been.
Right.
But with, just the heaviness came with just my dude, I got to get to this level. Then when I wasn't heavy like that, every other waking moment was ridiculous, doing dumb shit, being ridiculous. But when, I don't know, I had a serious moment. I was an angry child.
Well, you were focused, and once again, it's like you get hyper-focused and you get blinders on. Emotional walls go up, and you have no time for trying to think about a joke or trying to, you're kind of focused on you're learning language here, and I'm learning a new language, and I'm going to get really good at this language, so I'm going to think about the language all the time. So it's just rolling through. You're literally rewiring your brain musically, and your coordination in your eyes and your feelings and your whole emotions. So what you have to do is almost deaden the other emotions and go for that, that kind of almost psycho emotion. Just like, oh yeah, there's one emotion that psychos have, and they're driven to murder. But
exactly.
Murder and
Thankfully, it was music. If it was murder, you'd all be dead.
Well, what I was thinking is wouldn't it be wild if your uncle, all that swagger, was because he was a hitman, like he was the Iceman of northern Pennsylvania, Grandpa, and he had such a swagger, and then he pulls you one drunken night and he tells you and shows you exactly what he does, and then sets you off on your, You're just going to be a regular murder, nothing fancy, no lead murderer. You're just going to be sort of average, nothing fancy.
You're just getting the job done.
Yeah, good murder technique, just sweet, right to the point.
Yeah.
Like a good riff.
That's not too, outside of the fact that he was like the nicest human being on the planet, outside of my grandmother.
Oh.
That's not a far stretch of the imagination, because he was that cool. Like, it's always the cool dude who's quiet and doesn't say a lot of shit who's killed the most people.
Right, because when they kill people, it's sort of like a therapy for them. They're letting off just, some people work out, some people do yoga. Every once in a while, murder a hooker.
Yeah.
It's what we do. We're just trying to live a life here. This ain't going on forever.
That's it. Got to feed the family.
7 billion people out there. Come on now. Gotta care about me too. It's my emotions. Let's be PC. Let's murder.
Places to go. Places to go. People to kill.
Well, I'm very glad that wasn't your focus. Because then again, I might not be interviewed because you would have long ago killed me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 100%. So ADD, it led me into the alley like I told her, yeah, what? And then look over the balcony. Oh, sure. And feeling good.
We're from Illinois, the majority of it, and our connecting states is all cornfields. It's plenty of places to bury bodies.
Oh my God, dude. There'd be a graveyard back. If you looked at the past, you're like, King Collier was killed somehow strangely way back when, and Brian Trainum, that guy, remember him? Yeah, he's dead. And remember Brian Petrovka? Yep, he's dead too. What? What about that guy who played Partly Cloudy? Oh yeah, long dead.
All buried in Bachelor's Grove haunted satanic cemetery.
Nobody's died since Billy went out west and changed his name to Reginald Pugh.
So weird.
I knew we'd get to the reason.
Right? Damn it. The jig is up. Now I'm on the run.
Yep.
I'll spend the rest of my life on the run.
I'm just doing a long form Perry Mason right now.
Right. We're just keeping me distracted till the cops arrive.
Exactly. I'm going to swat you. I'm swatting you right now. Oh, shit. Wi-Fi's terrible up here, but the SWAT team is instant.
Right. They get signal. I don't understand.
They're better than my Wi-Fi. Right. Oh, my God, dude. So, a riff, man. Oh, man. Yeah, I would like to... All right, so I'll just go a little small anecdote. Also, anecdote. I was with you with your guitar, and I think I brought my guitar. I had the guitar, and you taught me one lesson. All I wanted to learn was the riff to Rats. Dun, 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 dun.
You're in love.
Dun, dun. You're in love.
Track 1 off Invasion of Your Privacy. Yeah.
That riff right there, for some reason, of all their stuff, that's the one that really just connects with my brain and just like, oh yeah, smiley button. Yep. That riff is I was like, oh, the tone of the guitar, just the power of it, and just the way it cuts, and it just feels good. So you're the guy who would, the basic dude that I would like the most. is the rhythm. You're the one. You're the guy. I am speaking to. If I could name my favorite, you would be my favorite of all the players on the stage. Like I could just listen to you alone without a band, and that would be that would be the best. Like just that's all I need, right?
Well, that would be that's fantastic. That makes me feel good because you want your heroes to admire you. So
exactly.
That makes me feel good.
And you are that. You're the one musical sound. I mean, you're like you're musically. You're like a kind of a godsend for me. It's like musically, you're that thing. So if I,
that was always for me. I hope so. That I hope. I mean, you hope people like your stuff, and that's if enough people like your stuff, then you can turn it into a living.
Can I make this proposal?
Yes, sir.
If somehow, maybe it's through the lottery or something weird happens, I make like many millions of dollars. And I buy a very big place, a lot of rooms. Is it possible that I could buy you and your wife and have you move in and be my heavy metal riff muse?
That would literally be the ultimate. That would be my greatest life. Yes. Do you have paperwork? I'll sign it preemptively to say if that does happen, I will fucking move to your house. And I am your indentured riff servant until I die. 100%.
And here,
take me willingly.
And for my fantasy, I'm just gonna add one more part. You are never not gonna see me wearing the jester costume.
You just made it even sweeter. You made the perfect deal, the perfectest deal.
Yes, I'll make so many. I'll swim in it. I'll make so many of them. They're all gonna be exactly what you remember.
Brilliant. I'm in. Let's do it right now. Go. It's push pause. Go to the fucking store and buy a lottery ticket right now.
Well, I got to get a lawyer first and talk it over with him. I'm sure there's some rules.
Hey, there's to be no arguments. If those are the stipulations, if you can feed us and keep us alive, that's all I need.
Dude, I think I could do that. Like literally, if I just got $2 million, I think we could pull it off.
I'm in.
Right?
You got $100,000? Let's do it.
Even that,
right?
You got good credit. Let's just do it anyways.
Well, it's strangely enough that winds back to answering the question that I forgot to answer directly before is what would be my ultimate goal in playing music and doing that. That to me is I do not care about fame. I don't care about. I want to have enough money, but I don't care about any of it. I'm not an attention whore. I don't play music to fuck chicks like you hear a lot of stuff like. I never did. I've always done it because it's a character flaw almost in me. It's so overwhelming and so all consuming that I will do nothing else with my life than play music. So for me, in order to not sweat the bills, that's the most success I could ever hope for. Anything on top of that is bonus cake that I would be happy with. But if I don't have to go to work somewhere and do some shit I don't want to do, and all the bills are paid and we're fed,
the dream.
I'm fucking good.
The dream.
Go.
Doing that thing.
I'm the happiest person on the planet.
Thing that you have the 10,000 hours in your mastery. You've mastered the riff.
Yes.
So the guitar.
Well,
riff.
I mean, listen, 99% of the time in over all these years, I'm 46 now. I started playing like really with that kind of determination when I was 17 or 18.
Nice.
Like I decided this is what I never had a doubt in my mind what I would do. Never. Not for 1 second after I got that guitar, I knew I'm doomed in this life to be a musician. There's just something, it's indescribable almost, the drive and the feeling that I have for it. So I've done it 99% of that time, 100% for free. If not, it has cost me money. And I'm the happiest, and I'm the happiest when I'm doing that. So if I could make a little money, I'm good.
If in that journey from 17 to now, or if on, Has any time during that journey from those years, has there ever been a point where you somehow, I don't know, you broke your hand or something tragic happened that you couldn't, that you felt in your mind that you couldn't do the thing that you were going to love? Like, was there ever a moment where you're just on this low point and like really thought about, I don't know, if you were like deep, like the kind that was so deep. Well, it can't get deep as thinking about suicide, but also it can put you into like this weird depression where you, even though you can play, you just don't because something in your brain is contrarian again and you're working against yourself.
Absolutely. There have been 2 times like that. And it's funny that you say, I'm trying to remember even if this was, you used breaking my hand as an example, which is exactly what happened. The first time that ever happened, I broke my hand real bad. This is my like riff hand.
How?
So this is my fret hand, and I broke this middle. What would this be? A metacarpal in your hand? Are they carpals or tarpals?
This one?
Yeah. Yep. Right in the middle. That one in the middle.
Oh, that would hurt.
And it's snapped.
Oh, that would hurt.
It snapped in half, and like to the point of that, it was like broken off my. Well, kind of, sort of. This is going to be a hilariously embarrassing story. For years, I covered it up as I was in a ninja fight. I was fighting ninjas, and I managed to escape unscathed, with the exception of this broken hand.
Part of the Reginald Pupe mythology, yes.
Exactly. I was parrying a samurai blow.
Yes, of course.
And piles of dead ninjas around me with just my broken hand to show, but I emerged victorious. The truth of the story is that I had gone to the Y because I had like stopped exercising for a little while, and the Y had some super cheap deal that you could get. There was a Y 3 blocks from my house at the time. So I went over there and I took a spin class. Oh. And whoever used this bike before me did not attach the handlebar.
Oh no.
So Sabotage. I sat on the bike. Yeah. And I was a little late for the class, so I was like trying to get in there, and I was about a minute or two late. So the class had already started. So I'm like, fuck, I got to get in here. I get on my bike and I go to lean on the handlebars. Stationary bike.
So you're late for one. Already people are looking at you like you're last in class. Like class has started about a minute ago, sir. But you know, of course, we're an adult, so they don't say anything. But everybody's kind of looking and thinking, yeah, he's fucking up. And then you get back there. Was there a big loud crash sound or anything like that?
Well, yeah, it's right. Like he's right. You're late for a class to ride a bike that doesn't fucking go anywhere. Stupid.
Yeah, get on it.
There was not a big noise, not a big crash noise, but I went over the front of the handlebars because the thing wasn't attached.
Oh.
And somewhere in that, I don't know how it happened. It did not hurt. It didn't make like a cracking noise or anything. And I was like, oh shit, I was more embarrassed than I got.
Did you face plant or did your hand like go crumple and then you just sort of did a rollout or what?
Man, I'll be honest with you. I truly don't know. I don't know exactly what happened outside of that. I didn't fall on the floor. The handlebars fell off onto the floor, but I caught myself on this thing. So somewhere, I don't know if I banged it off I don't know what happened.
Maybe there's some rigging on the front to keep that big spin thing in, and you just happened to hit it in just the weirdest, fucking most perfect way. You'd have done it 100 times, you'd have never done it, and you just hit it fucking perfect with just the right amount of physics and pressure, and bam, just perfect to break that much bone. So then the first feeling is it. Now I'm imagining. Tell me if I'm right. Is there kind of a weird adrenaline numbness? Like, it wasn't that. I guess everything seems to be okay. Or are you totally disconnected and you can't move your finger all of a sudden? You're like,
Nope, not at all. It's the first thing you said. I was embarrassed, and like you kind of have that like, oh shit. Like when you go off, you don't realize there's one more step left. And you take that step and you jar your back and you kind of start to sweat. You're like, oh fuck.
Or when you step down and you think that there's Yeah, it's both. If you step up and you don't realize there's a step, you trip and fall forward.
Right.
But the worst one is the last step. If you think it's the last step, but there's actually another last step, and you're walking,
you just hit it all,
it's a
you hit it
shocker,
all
dude.
Stiff, and your foot is bent, but your leg is straight.
Yep.
It just,
all
your
it needs
spine
is like,
just takes
especially
it
you
all.
get older, it just needs a little less of a bend, just a slight curvature. You couldn't even tell if there wasn't wearing pants. If it was, then you just fall, you crumple like, dude, it wasn't that bad. Come on now, it was maybe an inch.
Right? Yeah. Well, how tall is a step, right? Yeah, 8, 9
exactly.
inches,
But you
something like
kind of
that,
can compensate for a little bit, but still, your whole body just turns into a big Jenga fucking game.
You feel stupid, and you get that weird like you're not really sweating, but you're just like kind of sweating.
Yeah.
You know. And it was just that. And then I just got on and I started going, and I was with an ex of mine at the time, and we were in this class together, and she was already mad at me because we were late and all this bullshit. She was like, "You're just trying not to exercise, blah, 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 blah."
So wait, then you have that happen, and you kind of have this energy, emotion of a person that you're connected to electrically kind of sending you negative vibes, and then you do this thing. So that adds another kind of like frosting of embarrassment or saltiness or kind of anger, kind of why, kind of all that shit.
Yep. I got it back on the bike. I started going. I put my handlebar on, and I'm going, and a minute or two went by probably, and I was like,
oh fuck,
started to feel like my hand was swelling up and shit,
blood's running really well. Like, all your blood's circulating all real good. All right, let's turn on the pain, everybody.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, hit the red
very
button.
Slowly. It just felt like my hand was filling up with air, except it was blood or whatever happens when you break it.
Oh no! You had a big fat
Yeah.
hand all of a sudden. Like, honey, it's clear that I'm not fucking with you.
I did. I was like, I think something's wrong. Like, what? I'm not sure. And I was at first, I thought I had dislocated it, so I was like taking my middle finger and fucking yanking on it to try to like pull it back. I'm like, I'm not going down like this. I'm gonna fix this shit and I'm gonna keep going.
Way.
Boom. And dude, and little do I know, my finger is completely broken. It's not a part of my body anymore. Like, it's off the hand.
You were like a very uncool Rambo, you know?
Oh yeah.
You thought you're Rambo.
Yes.
I'm gonna fix it out here in the woods, and then we're gonna go into a cave, and I'm gonna go get some rats and to the other side.
Yeah. I was my own worst nightmare.
And then you fix it, and it's like, oh, it's blowing up. How are you doing that? It's like magic.
Yeah, you're making it worse.
Yeah, especially when you're pulling your finger like 4 to 5 inches away. Like,
this far
what
away.
is he doing? The whole class starts throwing up.
Yeah, it was just floating loose in the bag. I don't know what was going on.
I'm breaking up with you.
Yeah. You fucking circus freak. Wah, wah. I got your nose. Fart.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was severely injured. Severely injured.
Gonna go back.
Probably injured worse than I've ever been injured in my life.
Oh shit. Right in class, how embarrassing.
Yeah,
so what's
dude,
the move? What do you do after that? You take your big ass hand out of class, like, hey, everybody.
Right. Say, hey, everybody, I gotta go. Take it easy, bozo. Get the fuck out of here.
Don't sue me is the last word you hear from the instructor. Don't sue us.
Like
no,
the Woody
sir,
Woodpecker
no,
cartoons, you blow up your thumb, you know. Like,
did an ambulance come to the place?
No, we saved ourselves from that by just saying, that's when she started in with me. She's like, God, you fucking asshole. Like, you're just,
Did she have
we've
to
been
quit too?
eating pizzas for 4 months. Yeah, she had to drive me to the hospital.
Shit!
When I was telling her, like, no, dude, I'm serious. Like, I'm fucked up. Something's wrong.
Yeah, come on, honey. You should know me better than anybody. My hand isn't like a giant thing.
Yeah, like I don't want my hand to be hurt. My hand is everything. This is my fucking riff hand, dude. I can't have this hand be hurt. I don't want this to be happening.
You went from a guitarist's hands to maybe a drummer's hand.
Right.
That's all I can do now. I can just hold a stick.
Just
My
meat
God,
fist.
why?
Oh, it was brutal. So I was like, we got to go. And she's like, fuck. So she stomps off, pissed off. And we're not even 5 minutes into the class yet.
Whole class is going.
This all happens within the first 2 minutes. We're a minute late.
Wow.
I bust my ass less than a minute into my start of it. And then a minute or two after, I'm like, uh-oh, something's going wrong here. So we were there and gone within 5 minutes probably.
Quick question.
But so she goes to...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go. Well, when it happened, did everybody notice that it happened, or did it just happen kind of privately? Maybe one or two people around you saw that happen, but you recovered in a kind of a stealth Billy Watson way, and you got to business. Was it like that, or was it a crash? And everybody like, whoa, hey, lady. Late person. It was Lady Late Steen.
It was probably a little bit of both, because I was dead center in the middle of the fucking class. Like, if there's 4 rows of 5 bikes, like I was in the second row, third guy. Like, it was just ridiculous. So everyone behind me to the left and right, 100% saw it.
Was there laughter?
Probably. I don't think so. I think, the class was already going. So like, you had the instructor with this in sync microphone there, fucking telling you what to do.
That shit's embarrassing.
Stuff
dude.
was going on.
I mean, anytime your head involuntarily goes lower than your waist at any point, that's inherently embarrassingly funny.
Yes, 100%.
So it's like,
sure.
Don't laugh.
Yeah,
don't laugh.
The people behind me were probably like, look at the dipshit. But then the people in front, it didn't make like a big crash or anything. I don't think so. Nobody.
So then you get back up, you ride, and then and you're like, and then your babe, and you're like, we gotta go. And so then you're holding your hand up, and maybe you're just leaving in front of everybody again, or through the middle.
Yes,
and you're out of there.
I get up, walk back, take out.
She drives you.
We're sitting there. So first I'm like, all right, hurry up, I gotta go. So I didn't change my clothes or nothing, and I went to wait for her outside, because guys' locker room, women's locker room, she has to go through hers, and she's going to take a little bit longer, because she, first of all, thinks I'm not serious. Second of all, she's going to, look at herself in the mirror or whatever, and get ready to go back outside. So she comes down, and then when she came out of the locker room, I had been sitting on the floor, because I was like, I'm starting to get woozy a little bit at this point.
Right, because
she comes out and sees me, and I'm white as a ghost, and
blood vessel. I mean, like your vein broke, dude. You're leaking inside. Whatever that ain't supposed to happen. So now you got an open pipe, and the heart might be beating a little faster, especially that you were riding and you were embarrassed. So that's beating and then she's yelling at you. So there's kind of an anger thing there going there. So you got all these different emotions. You're like, what has my life come to? And then all of a sudden it starts swelling up, and she doesn't believe the seriousness of it. And then you have to walk by her, and she still wants to ride. And then you have to come back in the room like 3 minutes later, and it's the size of a fucking football. You're like, dude, like, get out of the class, lady. Drive him. Look at that.
I'm not fucking with you.
It's not a hand anymore. I can't tell if there's fingers anymore.
Yeah, it was bad.
I'm a guitarist.
That's when she finally saw. She came and she was mad, and she got closer, and I could see it on her face. She went, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
like I didn't look good. Everything was weird.
Life.
So we get in the car, and we're driving to what was the name of that hospital? Masonic Hospital up there on like Diversey and whatever. It was the closest emergency room.
Yeah.
And in the car on the ride there, I wasn't trying to look at it, because it would be too much for me to look at, because it's like feeling really fucked up.
Yeah, your stomach's
I'm not a good one to look at like injuries like that.
You're gonna be barfing up breakfast and lunch and
yeah, dude. I'm like, oh man, I can't have fucked up my hand. You know, like it's all I have. I'm literally worthless without my hands. I have no.
That's right.
No
I
purpose
forgot
on this planet. Yeah,
what an extra level.
Yep.
That's
no
the part where you shit your pants and throw up.
Exactly. So I look. Wow. So I finally go like this, and I'm like, and I look down at it, and it's so swollen, and my finger was turned like this sideways, like my middle finger was like turned sideways.
What am I looking at?
I was like, oh. And I just I went out. I passed out. She said I started making all these weird noises. Like I was like, snorting and shit.
Right. You're like those dudes on that slingshot ride where they did put, fail video.
Exactly. That's exactly how I felt.
Tell the doctor I'm a guitarist. I gotta pass out.
Right.
Oh my God, we need special attention to this man's hand. He's a riff master. We gotta get him fixed.
Well, and that's the thing. When we get to the hospital, they have to come with the emergency room, so they have to put you in a wheelchair.
Shit serious,
which
bro.
Wasn't really necessary, I guess, but it's like part of the protocol.
You'd have died if you were in the 1800s, bro. You'd have died.
Right.
You'd have died.
Yeah, for sure.
1800s, 1880.
Sure.
They throw leeches on you like, you're dead.
They'd have killed me for sure, because what could I do with only one hand? I can't.
Oh,
my
if you were out in the range,
healed.
if you were out in the range, wrestling or ruffling or whatever they did, ruffling.
Yeah.
Whatever them.
Rustling.
Yeah, if you were a rassler, ruffler, man, they'd have to put a bullet in you like a horse with a broke leg. Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
That's good. We got to stud him out.
Yeah, they'd revenant you out. They'd throw you to bear. Well, all right, bear food. You're gonna be our bear cover.
That's it. Yeah, let us know when the bears come.
Yeah, we're throwing you at them.
You make the detour. We're gonna go this way. You get eaten. All right.
If we don't run across any bears, we'll get you back to town. But if there is one bear, you're not gonna make it. We're sorry, just Billy Watson.
You have to sacrifice yourself for the village to
the
save the
legend
village.
of Billy Watson. Yeah, his hand got all swole up and it wouldn't look like he was gonna make it. We were like a half a mile away from town, but damn grizzly bear just right out of what's he doing so close to town?
And we know we didn't make it.
Billy was so happy when we saw the lights of town, and we was thinking he was talking about how he was going to get himself a whore and all that. Use his gold dust to buy extra drinks for everybody. But lo and behold, there's just a straggler bear. Had to throw it in his mouth, throw it right in there, just fed him in like a wood chipper. Get in there, feed that bear. We're walking past.
We know we didn't survive. We found a giant bear turd with that piece of his red flannel he always used to wear. We know he didn't make it.
Or what the irony would be, there'd be a dead bear and they'd do an autopsy on him. What killed him was your giant bloated hands got stuck and it was in his intestines stuck and he just backed up and he died.
That's what killed the bear.
The man killed the bear. Puffy hand.
He died fighting a bear. Well, not really. He lost miserably to the bear, and then his fucking giant swollen hand clogged his esophagus, and the poor bear suffocated to death.
He did. Oh, you got him in the end, buddy. It was a happy ending after all.
God, we celebrated this pussy ass motherfucker. He just choked a bear after he was already eaten.
That's right. That's how awesome he is. Billy Watson. Billy Watson. Hey, so I'm trying to keep these things to like 90 minutes, and we're over time right now because, dude, man. You're awesome. So can I ask you, can we continue on some other maybe month or two down the road? There's so much we got to talk about. We got to talk about chick hockey. We got to talk about New York. We got to talk about a big old snowstorm at your house and crash videos. Okay.
I still tell those stories.
So can we do part 2 later? This I let it go wherever it goes, and it went this way. And
brilliant.
So on a closing note,
how
are you making your money through what you are a master at? Like, so is there a way that I could maybe post something that people could get turned on to you if they need a riff for their websites or podcasts? Or do you sell things like that? Or what kind of thing are you? Is there anything that I can do, I guess?
Absolutely. Thank you. I'm a freelance, musician selling, trying to license things. To TV shows, movies, commercials, whatever. I have things in commercials and different things that you might see here and there. But topically, the thing that's happening right now, I am the easiest place to find is my wife actually wrote, directed, stars in, created this really fantastic television show, which is she's putting out in webisodes called South of Sanity.
Ooh.
It's South of Sanity show. You can watch it on IGTV or YouTube right now. Netflix has it and is like, we're really have our fingers crossed.
That's a great
that Netflix
title,
buys
dude.
it from her.
Great
Yeah,
title.
it's really fantastic. So I do all the music and scoring
Like
and
John
sound
Carpenter?
design and remixing and things like that. Huh?
You're like the John Carpenter, like putting in that music of Halloween. Eep, eep, eep.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing. That's the best place to kind of find what I'm doing right now. I have bands and I'm always writing music and doing things, but now with COVID and shit, like I am the band. I do everything on all of my
Really?
recordings.
So
I have a page called Sail Hayton, my project that I my like stage
Sail
name, whatever you want to
Hayton.
call it.
I like
It's
that. That's a good.
there's
that's
a page
nice
with that, and it's
Sail
yeah.
Hayden.
It's good one for the kids. But that's the
Sail.
easiest way to find it. Look for South of Sanity.
Just hits me in that spot.
And you can find like what I'm doing. Other than that,
Sail
I've got a
Hayden.
SoundCloud page, and I'm about to put stuff out on like Spotify and all the other things with for the Sail Hayton stuff.
Good. So, just on a thing, if I say I wanted to, like, I'm like, dude, I want to commission you for a riff. I'm kind of looking for something like bibbity babbity boop. Would you, like, I'll just pay you for your art. Do you do that kind of thing, or have you done that thing, or is there easy, like, I just email you this and I'll pay your PayPal? Is there something like that you have going on?
That is exactly how I've been working it right now. So yeah, really, I'm doing things like if it's a company that wants to purchase or employ me, then there's like contracts and paperwork. But if there's not, if it's someone just says, hey, I want this, I've done it for people making short films or shows, and they say, I want something that sounds like this, or just give me something like, here's what it is, you write something to fit the vibe, and we'll do that. And they pay Venmo or, whatever the fuck it is. So that's
And
it.
so then, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So it's all just reaching out to me and word of mouth, and it's been trickled down. I with all the COVID stuff happening, and I've been out of the game for a quick minute. This won't be too long because I know we're at the end. But my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer a couple of years ago now, like almost 2 years ago. So I put the brakes on everything to make sure that she's still in the fight right this moment, actually. So, life is taking a weird turn. So I am now just kind of scraping. I don't have, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing anything and everything. I have a live stream gig that I do that I get paid as a paid performer on this app called Bigo.
Okay. Well, email me those kind of things, and what I'll do is on the for the description, I guess I'll put in the links to anything that you might want, and I'll just facilitate you with that. If anybody, this is the third show, so I don't expect anything big, but honestly, just to talk to you and just had that moment that we have for this time that we've had, and like it's nice, right? And we didn't,
man.
We didn't even think of Donald Trump, not one time. We didn't do any of that stuff, and we don't have to because we're engaged.
We're fucking Satanists, dude.
We're engaged in the awesomeness of life.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. This is awesome. I have loved talking with you. Please, let's do another one. I'm in.
I'm definitely going to be doing a part 2. I mean, like, there's just one. It's just 100% because there's still a lot that we have. I had written down a whole bunch of all those things that I said and then some.
Yeah, we have a rich history.
Yeah,
as it goes.
But I really, 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 really liked. Yeah, man. Shit happens. Break your hand and shit. It's gonna go down.
Yeah, super fun, dude. I'm a big fan. I've seen, your couple of things that you put out here and there with your episodes so far, and I've loved them. So
thanks, man.
I'm all in, man. I'm a big fan, and I'll push it for sure.
Absolutely. And so I will stay in touch with you a lot more. So that's part of the goal of this is I talk to people. I want to stay more in touch with them, because I'm very out of sight, out of mind kind of, but I'm going to try and force myself to be out of sight, in mind.
Love it.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
See, it's that I was right. You're a genius. You're like a mad genius. It's intimidating.
Out of sight, in mind.
Out of mind. Forbidden. Remember Forbidden? Out of sight, out of body, in my mind.
Yes.
Twisted into form.
Oh, man. We could go down rabbit holes of riffs. All right, so thanks, man. It was everything and more that we talked about. And to be continued.
Yes, please.
All right, Billy Watson, Reginald
Darren
Pugh.
Bodecker.
I'm gonna edit this video, not that picture that I was talking about, in the part where we were talking. Is that cool?
Absolutely.
And if you want to send a riff or anything, is just for fun through email that you have some tape or somewhere. If you want, I can put it on at the end here. Just go riff it and then boom. But if not, that's cool. Everything's cool. Send me email of whatever you want mentioned to be highlighted, and so people can click on it and do all that thing.
Love it. Well, now I have a new goal in life, is to write and create the new opening theme song for Darren Bodecker's podcast.
Yeah, already I'm using my clout. Third show in, and I'm using my friends. This is what it was all about. This is what I was hoping ever since. All that other stuff I didn't care about talking. This was leading to this moment where you just said it. You set it on film, and now it's good as a contract.
Done. Nothing would make me happier except for if you were to win the lottery and move me into your house to be your personal riff slave.
If it happens, I will tell my wife that I did make that vow. So just in case, because you never know. It could happen, dude.
Absolutely.
It could
Stranger
happen.
Things.
Exactly.
Stranger Things. Our wives would get along famously, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what would, here's I though imagine the scenario. I would get all that money, and we'd make all those arrangements, and we'd sign the contract, and you were just about to move in, and then Donald Trump for some reason just went full nuts and started pressing buttons.
Right.
And it's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
And I mean, at that point, who would care? We've got metal. We're in metal servitude. I mean, it's what better way to go out?
So if you're going to die, what is the one metal song you would play going out as the bombs are coming?
Ooh, boy.
Is it a Metallica song?
It's not. It's a newer band. It's a band that has become my favorite band in the entire world.
Well, I'm going to write this down.
Yes, write it down.
Go ahead.
If I know you as well as I think I do, or maybe even if I don't, you're a metal fan. You're going to get as crazy about this band as I am.
Sold.
They are called Every Time I Die. They're from Buffalo, New York. They are, to me, the best band on the planet. And one particular song that would probably be my ultimate from them, it's called Pigs is Pigs. It's on their record called The Big Dirty. And it's just that's what I'd go out on.
Okay.
That would put me on I'd be a happy dead guy.
So here's our homework. The next time we talk, maybe a month and a half, 2 months, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks.
Sure.
The next time we talk, I will listen to definitely this song, and I'll listen to other stuff on there, and I'll give my genuine, my now metal brain trying to fit it in. You know how we get set in our ways when we get older. Now, like a certain kind of metal now. If it goes too high now, that's too much for my ears. I like a low bass tone. Come on. But yeah, a lot of drops. Boo. Like that. Just drop. And then I would like you to listen to a band. The album is called Cheer, Cheer. And the band is called Drug Church.
Okay, wait, I'm going to put it in my notes because I don't have those fandangled, fancy new writing utensils like you do.
Right. Well, it's easy to remember. Drugs and church. And then you look for a thing that's called Cheer, like as cheerleaders. It's a big red album.
The band is Drug Church. The song is Cheer.
No, the album is Cheer. I want you to listen to all the songs in the album.
Gotcha.
And here's why I like it. It's not metal, but it is hard rock, but it also has a punk flavor to it, but it also has a melodic flavor to it, and the guitar tone is it's a very sweet one, and the rhythm goes good, but it's mainly for me in this band. It's a little bit of a particular taste, but it's the lead singer and how he sings and pushes out the words. I mean, there's a familiarity to it, but also a uniqueness to him. And so
Like
along with
percussive?
those things, yeah. So it has this kind of a punk vibe to it.
Dude.
But also there's,
This is so strange because you just described how I would describe Every Time I Die to someone. So I think you are going to absolutely love them, and I think I am absolutely going to love.
All right, well,
Drug Church.
it could be horrible, though. I don't want to put the expectations too high.
That's exactly what I would say.
Okay, all right.
It's exactly how I would have described it. So we'll come back and see,
Yeah.
and maybe we're both geniuses or we're both assholes. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's a new game we should invent for next episode. Genius or asshole?
Genius or asshole. To expand or to expend.
To expand. Only altruistic minds will know.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. All right. So there's so much more we need to talk to. I
man.
am pulling for you. Thank you for doing this. And I hope that everything's awesome. I no time to get into it right now, but I'm just wishing you the best because you're a good looking fella. And
Thank you, brother. Right back at you.
You're just a good looking fella with musical taste and just a kind heart. You got a kind heart. And you're going through big moments, but that's what life's about, man. You're living, my friend. You're living.
Living.
You are.
Surfing down that river of shit.
Well.
Living it with a beer in hand.
All right now. Don't get too crazy. No crystal meth or nothing like that. Just keep it to 1 or 2 beers, all right?
That's it.
All right. Thanks, Billy. I don't even know how to
brother.
end this properly, but thanks for... I think there was some wisdom in what we said. Was there any wisdom?
I hope so. I don't know.
maybe.
We'll save this was buffoonery. We'll save the wisdom for the next time. Although it wasn't buffoonery either, not at all. We talked about
there is wisdom. It's just
things,
how you accept it. It's how it hits you, and not all wisdom. It just hits you in the face with a big slogan or a meme. Sometimes it needs to soak in, and then maybe there's a wisdom you don't even know about, a subconscious wisdom. And I think that's what we throw out tonight. There's a subconscious wisdom going on.
See, and there's the wisdom.
That's right. You and your giant blood hand. All right, man.
Thank you very much,
I'll talk
brother.
to you later.
This was
I'll keep
awesome.
in
I
touch.
really enjoyed doing it. Thank you for having me.
I'm going to put it up maybe the next week, sooner, maybe. I'll let
Perfect.
you know.
Yeah, let me know, and I'll push it like hotcakes.
All right, man. Let's go out on some music. Bye. Okay, man. Wow, that's loud. Thanks, man. Me
Thank
love.
you.
Me love. All right, let's just end this thing. It's like one of those calls. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. You hang up.
You hang up. You hang up.
No, you
do it.
hang up.
I love you more.
I love you more. All right. Bye.
Bye, buddy.
All right. Bye, buddy. I love you. All right. All right. Well, that was the show. Went a little bit over time, but I was not expecting to once again go into that conversation. Who would expect a giant hand from a rhythm guitarist? Nobody expects that. Anyways, I'm trying to one-shot this episode. I think I'm not going to really go back and edit too much. I'll just clip it right at the very beginning and clip it at the end and let this thing be what it is. I hope to get the website up better and things, but I do need people to respond and watch. So if you liked it, somehow email me and say something encouraging. Or is this just like everybody else's? Is everybody talking about this kind of thing? Is this like his 5th podcast where he's been talking about the same blood hand story and playing guitars upside down? Is everybody doing these things? Is that what all podcasts are? We all finding this out from him specifically? Am I just you heard it? Okay. Anyways. We escaped some time together. Now, back to the now. Get ready for the now. Bye. Maybe go see another video and still escape. But you're going to have to get off YouTube at some point. And and the now's gonna get you. The now. The now. Anyways, I had fun. I hope you did too. Love you. Bye-bye. Searching for wisdom within the madness. Searching for wisdom within the madness. SFWWMADESS @gmail.com.